Okay, back again, moving from the evolution through the pathway of breakthrough into the radiant sphere. And as you see, we passed through the SQ on the way over to radiance. The SQ we will really go into in the Venus sequence because we're just passing through right now. Yeah, so going from sanctity, inspiration, and psychosis, line 6, into um, innocence, innovation, chaos is the shadow, line 2 of marriage. So I'm going to begin by reading directly from what Richard Rudd says about the sphere of radiance. He says, you may wonder why and how we can have light locked away inside us. It may seem fantastical or even whimsical. The truth is that every form in the universe is made of light. The emptiness around the form is the darkness from which the form arises as light. The two principles belong to one another, constantly giving birth to one another, and at the same time defining one another. In your form, the body which lies wrapped around you, as you read these words, a great inner light is burning. Physical evolution occurs as the light moves collectively through all human forms, driving us forward in understanding, urging us not to only survive, but to thrive as a species. However, spiritual evolution underpins physical evolution. In fact, both forms of evolution are part of a single principle, with spiritual evolution as the seed and physical evolution as the fruit. Spiritual evolution emerges as breakthrough. The inner light finds its way out of the DNA and floods our physical bodies. This is the radiance. It dictates our health, physical vitality, and our aura. The aura is your electromagnetic afterglow of your inner essence. Maybe it cannot be seen by the naked eye, but it can be seen by the intuition, sensed by the intuition. Your radiance acts as the hidden instrument of your intuition. It warns you of potential threats in the energetic environment. Like a GPS, it guides you in finding right experiences and people in your life. Yeah. So, with that being said, um, the life's work and the evolution are the conscious mind. Those are things that we can actually not very easily see, and we can do something about them. They're very conscious. And then the radiance and the purpose are the subconscious mind. And um, the life's work and the evolution are always programming partners, as are the radiance and the purpose spheres. So the the gene key 3 is in the codon ring of living and dying, and it is it is titled "Through the Eyes of a Child." In the I Ching, it is the hexagram is difficulty at the beginning. So for me personally, this one is all about change, letting change in. The only constant is change. The dilemma of this one is clinging. What are we clinging to? So for me as an adult, one thing that I absolutely cling to tremendously is my children. And in in loving them more, supposedly we are more easily able to let go of the clinging. So that's the goal. So because this one has a very childlike energy to it, again, I went in my contemplation with this one tremendously into my childhood, and with the shadow of chaos, in contemplating the chaos for me as a child, it was a little tricky for me because I didn't have, like I've shared previously, I didn't have a lot of rules. I didn't have any rules, honestly. And so it was like a free for all. I could pretty much do whatever I wanted most of the time. And so I did a lot of I did a lot of testing because it was just me and God, you know? And so um I did a lot of testing, and so I thought I would share a little bit about what kind of testing I'm talking about. And so the first example I'm going to give is that when I was in kindergarten, my brother and I had babysitters who were two Amish girls. They were sisters, and there was an Amish farm very close to our house. They were our neighbors. And um, so sometimes they would come to our house. They didn't really watch us much. They loved to watch TV and watch Barbara Mandrell and the Mandrell sisters. So this is a big indication of my age, you know, which I'm very proud of. um, so they would come and watch TV, and sometimes we spent a lot of time up on their Amish farm. And so this Amish family, had a greenhouse where they would sell things, and it was this big, huge, beautiful greenhouse, and they had all kinds of things in there. And they had these little decorations that you could put in plants. They were like little chicks and plastic things that were stuck on wires that you would just put in plants to for decoration. And so I decided one day to steal some of these things. And I remember it very clearly. I didn't steal them because I actually wanted them. I stole them because I wanted to know if it was true that if you stole things, you go to hell. So I stole these little chicks and hens. It was a beautiful sunny day. I go outside and I said to God, if it's true that people go to hell for stealing, you will strike me with lightning right now and kill me. And that didn't happen. And so that was real validation to me that God is an all forgiving God, and he in fact does not send you directly to hell for stealing. Um, Another example would be that I think I was in second grade. I was in second or third grade. I was around 7 or 8. And my brother and his friends were kind of the troublemaker kids in the neighborhood. And sometimes when I got really bored, I like to hang out with them, and they like to do bad things. And I would just go along with it. And they dared me one day to write "fu," but the actual word, on my neighbor's car windows with candle wax. And so I did. I did it, and I then admitted to doing it when the police came to my door and my brother answered the door. They asked if I was there. I don't know who told on me. I have no idea if somebody saw me doing it or what, but I came to the door, and the police officer asked me if I wrote these bad words on my neighbor's car window, and I admitted to doing it. And so he took me over to the car and handed me a razor blade and had me stand there and scrape all the candle wax off of this lady's car. She was out there for a few minutes, and I got to be extremely humiliated. I got to experience extreme humiliation and guilt and all of the things as a kid. And when I went back home, my brother was like, "Why did you admit to that? Why didn't you lie and say you didn't do it?" And I wasn't quite ready to be a liar yet. That would come later down the road, but um, I was I wasn't quite ready to that to be an actual liar. But I was very well versed in what I learned from the salamander, which was that when in danger, you blend in, and so you blend into your environment. And so, for example, we would also do things like throw eggs at cars, snowballs and things at cars. And we especially got really excited if it was like a police car. And and my brother and his friends would just run and run and run. I would run to the nearest bush or tree or whatever it was, and I would hide in the bush, and I would truly become one with the bush, to the point where I am not, even as an adult, I believe that I was actually part of the bush, that I was changing the energetic field around me so that it wasn't just that I was hiding in the bush, I was actually part of the bush. And I never got caught doing that. So yeah, I really like to test my boundaries as a kid. And I guess you could say, like, create chaos in my own life um, to experience what that felt like. Um, One more story that I will share is we had this beautiful wisteria bush outside of our house, and it was like a big umbrella. It was so beautiful and bright, bright, bright yellow flowers. And it was pretty spacious underneath. And so one day I decided to go into the barn on our property. The landlady that owned the house that we lived in, her son had a recording studio, a music studio in this room in the barn, and he had remnants, like sample pieces of carpet covering all of the walls. And one day I just decided to go in there and rip off a bunch of these pieces of carpeting to make a nice carpeted floor in the wisteria bush. And this was like my special place, like a magical place for me. And I would make I would like get butter containers and things from the house. And like, I think my mom even was wondering one time, like, what happened to all of our spoons, because I would take them out into my little fort, my wisteria fort, and I would make soups and things for all of my imaginary friends, with dirt and stones and flower petals and all of the things. And that is, I think, a really good example of innovation, which is the gift of number three. And so when I think of innovation, and when I was contemplating this gene key, I was thinking a lot about how um, nature is constantly innovating. Um, that that evolution is innovation. And thinking about the salamander and what the salamander taught me, and not only to become one with its environment when in danger, but also to like actually let go of its tail voluntarily if in danger. And so I remember like catching salamanders, and their tail would just fall off, and it would look like it was still alive for a long period of time. And I obviously didn't realize this as a child. As a child, I actually felt bad for the tail, because to me it was still a living thing. I couldn't understand what was happening. Obviously, as an adult, I realize it's the nerves and all of the things still moving around. But as a child, I even felt bad for the tail. And so killing things as a kid, um, doing these things is like really teaching us like some serious coping skills of um, forgiveness, humility, grace, curiosity. And I think that moving through life and being able to have the freedom to explore is so important, because we can do these things in such an innocent way as a child that then help us so much later in life as adults. And so um, I'm going to just read directly from what Richard says as far as innocence goes, what how he explains the city of innocence. I think it's so beautiful. It's so relevant for me in the work that I do with people too. When people come into my office, instantly I am bringing my awareness to the innocence within every single person. And I hear some really awful things, and I know that it's so very healing for people to realize that no matter what they've done in their life, there is still a purity and an innocence at the core of every single living thing that exists, no matter what. That's what we are made of. So Richard says there are two kinds of innocence: ignorant innocence, which is like a newborn baby that expresses its beauty without awareness of itself. And then there's wise innocence, that he describes as an old man or old woman who has opened its heart up again after a long search through lots of pain and suffering. Some say they're both the same innocence. And remember that the Siddhi is always in the shadow. The only difference is in the awareness of the two. Wisdom is not dependent on age. Life is the process of unraveling. It is in the play. Um, that's that's what I try to bring into the world, is remembering the pure innocence that exists, because I think that we are really at a crucial, pivotal moment in history right now, where if we don't remember the innocence and the purity of what it means to be a human being, we could truly end up destroying ourselves. And um, I really think that that's where we're at right now. That, you know, our minds want to believe that we're doing all this good in the world by, and I'm not saying that this isn't good to want to um, save endangered species and all of these things, and not create so much destruction on the planet. But if we are too distracted by all of the harm that we are doing, we will forget about the destruction of our own selves in the process. Like if we don't remember what it means to be a human before the technology that we are creating as humans advances beyond us, we will have probably caused our own extinction. And um if that's what happens, I mean, not to like lessen this in any way, but when I go above the planet and view this from way far above, I kind of see the planet and where we exist on the planet. It would be like the surface of the planet is like a thumbnail on a human body. And um, the earth herself, in at her core, is so strong and powerful that she will not be destroyed by um, any of this that we are causing on the surface. She will exist no matter what. And so the surface is just like this playground for us to play. And it's truly up to us. And how do we want to create this playground? Um, if we want to just take it to the point of destruction by creating all this transhuman, humanoid, whatever technology driven place, totally disconnected from nature, then I guess that's what we do. But I would like to stay and play for a while, and I would like to keep coming back here with all of the beautiful things that exist on the planet. And so that's why I'm here. I know that's why I'm here. I know that's my current position on the planet right now, very nature based, very connected to nature, to remind us of the connection to nature as just a normal human being. And that's my job, with everyone that comes in to see me, is I'm coming from that place of helping people connect to the incredible technology that we already are as a species, which is innovation. Like, we are highly capable of the most incredible innovation ever imaginable. We can time travel, we can astral project, we can do all of these things without any virtual anything. Like, we already are built to do these things. And if a salamander can regrow its tail and its leg, I'm pretty certain that if we really believed in ourselves so much, we could get to a point where we could do the same. And so I really actually believe that, because I believe that anything and everything is possible. And I've seen incredible things happen with people that are truly unbelievable. And may sound psychotic, but actually, no, it is innovation to any degree. And um, yeah, so Richard Rudd also says, innocence is the revelation that all beings are divine children of the universe, inherently pure and whole, destined to play in the magic of creation. Innocence is a return to the essence of life, revealing that consciousness is constantly learning and growing with each fresh moment as an embodiment of ecstatic joy, imagination, and curiosity. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. I really hope that we can all embrace this gene key, because it's incredible, and it's what we all need, you know. Um, the imagination is everything, you guys, and if we give that up to technology, I don't know really what we have left. I really don't. Okay, line 2, marriage. Although the second line, radiance, is keynoted marriage, this may not be a literal interpretation. All second lines thrive in one-to-one relationships, but that can mean many things. Your radiance requires biofeedback rather than simply emerging in solitude like the first line. This means your radiance may emerge when you are in nature or when you are in movement, or both. You simply need to be in an intense relationship with something or someone. And I can assure you that every single person that knows me would definitely describe me. They might not use the word intense, but I really, really like to get into it and go deeply into the rabbit holes of all the things. And I think that intense is probably is probably a good word, but um yeah. So and I do know that working one-to-one with people um is a true gift that I have. I can feel the shift happen almost instantly within minutes of connecting. I have a very, very easy time connecting with every single person that comes in to see me, because I um I truly find it fascinating that this physical being that's showing up in front of me is a manifestation of matter that this soul's energy has experienced. And um witnessing that and coming from the perspective that truly anything and everything is possible is and I know that people instantly get the sense that I do believe that wholeheartedly with every single cell of my body. And if we actually can embrace and believe that, then we can easily connect with the world around us. And that's what it's all about. So thank you again for listening. I love this one. And so next time, moving through the pathway of core stability into the purpose. And I am really excited to move forward and keep sharing. Stay connected, go outside, play outside, even if it's cold, take your shoes off, go outside just for a little bit, feel what cold feet feel like. Something to connect to nature. Thank you. Have a good day.